Imagine that you are trying to take care of your daughters after the death of your husband, and suddenly your mother-in-law turns the entire church community against you. But you do not sit still. You take revenge in such a way that their true nature is exposed in front of the entire community. If you have ever been wronged by someone and you have thought in your heart that someone could take revenge, then like this video, subscribe to the channel, and get ready for a story that will cool your heart. I am 46 years old and have 2 daughters, 17 and 15 years old. Last year, my husband died in an accident. It seems that everything should have ended there. But no, the real storm came later. My husband was unfaithful to me in his life. He was in a relationship with another woman, and he had 2 children with her. And the woman also died in the accident. Now both the children are orphans. My in-laws first started pressuring me for the custody of these children, then tried to get me to stay in my house. On one hand, I was dealing with the grief of my daughters. On the other hand, this storm. Now listen. The turn of the story, where my tolerance reached its limit. It was my younger daughter's birthday, and we went to a local market that is held every weekend. I gave my daughter money and told her to buy whatever she wanted. She was buying chocolates and sweets when suddenly she called me. She was crying. She said that some unknown women had stopped her and were insulting her by calling her irreligious. I reached there, running. My elder daughter was also with me. We saw that 6 older women were standing around my daughter, asking why she did not meet her grandparents and why she hated her orphan brothers. My heart was on fire. I stood in front of my daughter, told the older daughter to get in the car, and then told these women to listen carefully. Some of these women were my mother-in-law's church friends, and they were taunting me for not being a good Christian wife. Well, we were all kicked out of the market, but these women followed me to the car. When I got home, after the daughters had gone to bed, I spoke to an acquaintance from the church. She told me that my mother-in-law had posted an emotional post in the church Facebook group about us kicking her out of the house, depriving her of her money, and keeping her away from her orphaned grandchildren. But the real poison was this. She lied in her post that my husband's other woman was actually our surrogate mother. That is, I couldn't have any more children, so we hired another woman to do the job. And then I didn't adopt the children because they were boys. That's it. Now the volcano inside me erupted. I had all the evidence. Since the divorce proceedings had begun before my husband died, I could legally make all the evidence of the chats public. The next day, I had a print shop print all the evidence, the chat pictures, the texts, and the harassing messages from my in-laws in beautiful prints. Then I made handmade binders. They looked exactly like church hymnals. The first page, a picture of my husband and his other woman, also in our living room, and underneath it was written, "The True Story of Love." On Sunday, I went to church and put these binders next to their hymnals. No one checked, and soon the church was in turmoil. People started screaming, posts were coming, the priest intervened. The church had a funeral in honor of my in-laws. My in-laws were accused of being cruel, lying and misleading their children. But the most delicious thing? People were saying, "I made a mistake by divorcing, but maybe she'll come back to the light one day. But my husband and that woman, they're beyond redemption." My daughters received 2 letters of apology, and I was invited to join the church for support. My mother-in-law started crying on Facebook that no one cared about the elderly, and after her great son died, there was no one left to support them. Revenge only tastes good when it's based on the truth, when the injustice is exposed and everyone sees who the real sinner is. My mother-in-law wanted to use the church to humiliate us. and I used her principles to expose her true nature. If this story made you feel the joy of justice, then be sure to like it. Tell me in the comments what you found the most amazing about the story, and don't forget to subscribe so that you can hear more such true revenge stories.